Greetings, everybody, and a warm welcome to you from the Estadio Rommel Fernández in Panama City, Panama. It is the Concacaf W Champions Cup Group A tonight as FC Chorrillo of Panama welcome the NWSL champions from the United States in the Orlando Pride. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us for this one tonight. 79 degrees in Panama City this evening. Winds look to be keeping down, at least for the time being, and we hope that the rain does as well. Well, the reign of Orlando Pride as the NWSL champions has certainly been an interesting story, no questions about that. And here in the W Champions Cup, they are 3 points from 3. Seb Hines' side got off to a really good start with a 3-0 win over Alajuelense for them in their first match of the tournament. For FC Chorrillo, not as successful so far. They are still looking for their first goal of the tournament and their first points of the tournament as well. And certainly if FC Chorrillo cannot get any points on the board tonight, they would be in big trouble as far as trying to progress on as one of the top 2 teams into the knockout stages. And of course, they'll have their hands full with Orlando Pride this evening, 6th place in NWSL play, trying to close in on yet another playoff appearance in the National Women's Soccer League. They're coming off a 1-1 draw last time out against Bay FC. It's a bit of a congested week for Orlando Pride. They actually play again on Friday at home in North Florida against the North Carolina Courage. So you might see some rotation. We'll get to that in a little bit more detail in a moment for Seb Hines and his group. But he said in his pre-match thoughts, Seb Hines, that this is a bit of new territory for Orlando. It's still a new competition for them. This is actually the first time the Orlando Pride have ever played a game, a competitive game, outside of the United States. So it's a brand new experience for them, coming to Panama this evening and hoping to put on a show, put on a statement, and of course, more importantly than anything, leave with the 3 points that at the moment would put Orlando top of Group A, ahead of the likes of Pachuca and Club America as well. So time is definitely of the essence for Orlando as they try to push into the top 2. They're currently, as you saw by the graphic earlier, in 3rd place. Chorrillo need to get some points on the board tonight if they are to stand a chance of staying around in this group phase. And really for them, for the hosts this evening here in Panama City, on the defensive side of things is where they are trying to improve. But to be fair, this is such a tough group. You have Orlando, Alajuelense are a strong side. Pachuca looked very strong in their first game, which was against Chorrillo back in August. And of course, Club America have come to play as well with 1 win and 1 draw in this group phase so far. It's how it goes in Concacaf W Champions Cup. Both groups really are so deep and so littered with talent. It's just one of those things where you can kind of fall away quickly in a group phase such as this, particularly with 5 teams in it as well. It's something that you need to take advantage of early on as far as getting wins and points on the board is concerned, or you can sort of fall out of the picture sooner rather than later. But there's still a chance for FC Chorrillo. They will be underdogs tonight here on home soil. There's no question about that. But they will do everything they can to represent well for their club and, of course, for their country as well. And again, for Orlando, going to see some new faces. I think that's the first thing to mention. Again, we'll get to the starting lineups after the procession and the anthem, which is going to come up in just a moment. Going to be interesting to see how Seb Hines rotates. Going to be interesting to see how some of the players that maybe haven't gotten as much time as others in NWSL play handle the big stage here tonight in Concacaf W Champions Cup. That's another storyline that not just for this competition, but also for NWSL play, where Orlando are trying to push to the postseason and get back into the playoffs to defend their NWSL crown. Could that contribute to that run and some big games, not just this week, but down the stretch in the NWSL season? We will wait and see on that. FC Chorrillo are in their home blacks with the yellow trim, and Orlando are in their changed orange strips as both teams make the walk at this wonderful, wonderful arena here, the Estadio Rommel Fernández in the capital of Panama tonight. We'll step aside for a moment for the playing of the Champions Cup anthem. We'll return with starting lineups and the kickoff between Chorrillo and Orlando. Both Chorrillo FC and Orlando Pride exchanging pleasantries here in Panama City. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you, particularly on a big night like this in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. First ever meeting between Chorrillo and Orlando. And it is time to take a gander at the starting 11s for both teams. Raiza Gutierrez has this 11 for the host tonight. Stephanie Toral captains the side in defense. You look at that midfield. Carla Sayeli, Desire Salazar as well. And up front, Shayari Camarena and Yamileth Palacio. Some players to look out for, but again, particularly that back line of four. Melissa Herrera, Diane Madrid, and Yeselis Magallon. Can they provide a stalwart effort and hold out a very strong Orlando team this evening? That will be a big key for them to potentially snagging something from the match. Priscilla Perez of Mexico is our head official. Cuba and El Salvador also represented amongst our on-field officiating crew for this match. And a friendly reminder that there is no VAR. Well, we said Seb Hines would have to rotate. He makes 10 changes from the Orlando team that drew Bay FC 1-1 in the league last time out. Zara Chavoshi is the only player that makes it from that regular season match. Cosette Morchet in goal makes her first ever Orlando start, as does Elise Bennett up top after being acquired on August 31st. She did come on as a sub in the last game in W Champions Cup play. Priska Chalufia will lead the line, certainly a player to look out for in the attack. Corey Dyke has 18 league appearances so far this season, will help to anchor things in defense. And Summer Yates, who has played in 13 NWSL regular season games this season, will be a key cog in the Seb Hines midfield. Well, a new experience for the NWSL champions here in Panama City, a first ever international trip for them, or a major game. They beat Alajuelense at home to kick off Concacaf W Champions Cup play. They win tonight, they'll be 6 points out of 6, and they will be top of Group A. It will be Orlando to get us started. They're going from right to left here in Panama City this evening. Off we go in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. We're in Group A. Orlando Pride from NWSL get us started against Chorrillo. We're not actually playing in their home ground tonight, but are certainly playing on a big stage, no questions about that. The Panamanians are in their third game of this group, hoping to get their first goal and first points on the board against one of the best teams in the world at the moment, and the Orlando Pride, the NWSL reigning champions from a season ago. And certainly a changed side for Seb Hines, although we expected that, with Orlando playing again on Friday at home in a big game in NWSL play. And it's not exactly like there's no experience out there for Orlando either, but a lot of their main players either didn't make the trip, a la Marta, for example, or are on the bench tonight for Seb Hines. So we will see how all of that plays out as you look at Reza Gutierrez, the Chorrillo FC coach, hoping her team can put together a strong defensive performance tonight, as that was Delineth Rivera being fouled. Simone Jackson for Orlando on this near side, wins a throw-in off the ricochet. Now, Seb Hines was asked before the game, what's going to be the most important thing you're looking for in this match today? And he talked about, again, the inexperience of this competition for this group and being away from the U.S. for the first time, and just said how important the start to the game is going to be. Building an early foundation for success and going on from there. So Orlando will want to get off to the races quickly, and they try to maneuver their way through the Chorrillo defense here. The outlet is for Jackson. Helped along by Luana. It's our first start of the season, captaining the side for Orlando as the attack eventually fizzles out. Sarah Lozano gets the starting goal for the Panamanian side tonight. That's her first touch. The outlet to Salazar. Magallon tried to go up the line. Jackson cuts it out. But eventually it is won back by Magallon. And then as Orlando tried to wheel away with it, it is going to be a foul and a free kick. Luana and Summer Yates trying to win that back for Orlando. They did so unsuccessfully. The foul was called. And that ball was played behind, beg your pardon. Both players involved there. It's a throw-in for the Pride on the far side. Luana used the stumble to her benefit. But then the ball over the top is to no one in particular. And it's out for a goal kick. There's Seb Hines. Did such a wonderful job with the Orlando Pride team last season that not only won the whole championship, they were the NWSL Shield winners during the regular season as well, for the best record throughout the campaign. Most points accumulated. And on the attack here, Orlando score inside of 4 minutes. Headed home by Julie Doyle to give Orlando the lead in Panama. It's quite literally Orlando Pride's first ever international goal. Lovely header in behind off the feed that was looped over the top by Chalufia. Doyle delivers. And the Orlando Pride take a 1-0 lead. Now that was a delightful move all the way around from the NWSL champions. And just as Seb Hines would have drawn it up, early start, check. Early goal, check for Orlando. Doyle helps that along for Jackson. And Jackson is caught up to, but does win Orlando a corner. Luana to take. Well, there's good shape on it. Ooh, and Lozano punches it away. It's still not cleared, and it's finished off for 2-0. Summer Yates slots it home. And Orlando are 2-0 up inside of 6 minutes. Lozano did so well initially to punch this away. It just bundled around. And it's a really good finish from Summer Yates. Just picked out the space, buries it into the bottom right-hand corner. And Orlando are off to the perfect start. Goals from Doyle and Yates. Talk about a 1-2 punch. And the Pride are 2 to the good. Well, just a bit of an unfortunate ricochet on that goal as you look at the challenge that came in on that far side from Grace Chanda. That leads to Chorrillo getting the ball back. A decent ball over the top here, but the offside flag is going to end that attacking sequence for the hosts. Ooh, or at least that was the initial indication. Referee has gone back and changed it to a throw-in. Well, the assistant ends up getting overruled by the head referee there as Cosette Morchet gets her first touch on it. This is Jackson, who has played 6 matches in the NWSL regular season. Chalufia. Chalufia follows up. And Chorrillo do clear it underneath the pressure, just about. And it deflects out for a throw into the Panamanians on the far side. It's helped along by Villacorta. Well, the Pride on the prowl again. First time ball curled into the area. It's a miscued header. Nearly fell for an opportunity on the edge of the 18-yard box, but Chorrillo play it forward, although it's picked off again. And then that's a poor tackle from behind from Kyra Perez. It's an Orlando free kick. Perez just trying to stop Orlando from surging towards the penalty area once more. Perez is now in the wall for the hosts here. Luana delivers the free kick. It's nudged out of play, and it'll stay with Orlando on the near side. Doyle's throw. And the Pride will try again. I'm sure Orlando fans will be excited to see what Cosette Morchet can provide in goal tonight. First start for her in a Orlando kit. And Elise Bennett, who returns to NWSL, returned back on August 31st, former San Diego Wave player. Of course, did play a little bit in the last W Champions Cup win over Alajuelense, but it's her first Pride start tonight in all competitions. There's Jackson maneuvers there. This is Yates. Two goal scorers combining here. Doyle back to Yates on the near side, and then Yates is caught up to, but it stays with the Pride via a throw. A lovely cut-in field by Villacorta. As the ball was cleared away, the referee does re-examine it and give Orlando, rightly so, a free kick. Clever little move inside by Villacorta, and well, Salazar does not play the ball. Easy decision for the referee. Luana and Jackson are mulling this one over. Looks like Jackson might be walking away from it. This is certainly within striking distance for Luana here. She does strike it towards goal. Not just too much on it, and it flies over the top. Certainly had the right shape on it, that's for sure. If it was on target, that would have been a very, very dangerous moment, but too much power and a bit too much whip on it, sees it fly out of play. It's the first Champions Cup game for Chorrillo since they lost to Club America back on September 3rd. And before that, they'd also lost to Pachuca. Just put them in this precarious position in the group. Needing a result tonight, or it could very easily get away from them here. As Orlando were on the prowl again. Did that go out of play? It did. Assistant's flag is up. Good effort by Chanda to try to keep the ball in play on the byline, but it just leaked over, and it's a goal kick. Ends up being a good decision by the referee from that angle. Just about. Remember, the whole ball has to be over that line. It looked like it was, despite the good effort from Grace Chanda. Back for Villacorta. This is Corey Dyke. Certainly one of the more experienced players in this Orlando group, particularly this season as the ball's in behind here. Chorrillo do have a chance to get one back, and the shot is saved by Morche. Camarena locks eyes with the goalkeeper after Chorrillo nearly were able to respond here. What a moment that could have been. A little bit of an Orlando mix-up there at the back. Remember, this is a much changed side from the normal regular season 11, even just from the last 11. 10 new players in the Seb Hines starting lineup tonight, and it showed a bit there. That's going to go out for an Orlando throw on the near side. Well, that was a real chance. Great effort from Shayari Camarena, but the shot was right down the middle. Chanda, lovely ball out wide. Orlando players are queuing up in the middle here. Goalkeeper spills it. Touched clear. Just about. Ball is still in play here on the far side. Some of the Orlando players stopped going. Chorrillo have some numbers queuing up here. Oh, it was a decent idea to try to thread the needle for Camarena. It's cut out. A little bit of confidence starting to flow here for the hosts. Certainly when they get the ball over that halfway line, they are starting to move it forward a bit. Could that be the start of something for the Panamanians tonight? We will have to see. Another chance here for Camarena. She holds up the play beautifully and is brought down. And that's going to be the first yellow card of the evening as well. Zara Chavoshi made a bit of a meal out of this. Along with Villacorta, neither player able to stop Camarena. And Chavoshi is booked for bringing her down. A couple of nervy moments for Orlando at the back over these last couple of minutes. But can Chorrillo take advantage? That's the next big question. Madrid plays it short. Ball's played, towards the byline. It slips underneath the boot of Perez. But I think it may have taken a touch, yes, on the way through. It will be a corner. Couple of shakes of the head there from Seb Hines, not liking what he's seeing defensively here over these last couple of moments. Now Perez looks to pick out a teammate here. Goes right at that near post where it was well covered for Orlando. And then the poor feed out to that far side. Madrid cannot link up in the end with Rivera, and that is a tough giveaway. Well, the Panamanian champions here are starting to come alive a bit. Certainly have gained a bit of confidence. But here come Orlando, always looking dangerous when they bring it to this end, and they've won a corner on the far side. And Luana will take. Luana's delivery bends to the edge of the 6. Bit of a scramble for it on the edge of the area, but Chorrillo do get it clear with Rivera, but quickly Orlando recover it. And a couple of coming togethers there, including two teammates bumping into each other, and the hosts get a free kick out of that. A couple of odd moments defensively for Orlando in these last few minutes. Again, a little bit of a lack of chemistry and camaraderie. These are, again, some players for Orlando, the likes of Yates and Dyke, Chalufia, who have played quite a bit together this season, but you're mixing in more Shea, Bennett, and other players like Jackson, Villacorta, Luana. A lot of them haven't featured a ton, certainly some, but not as much as some of the others in the normal match day 11s in particular in NWSL play. Well, things that Orlando will have to work out as the match moves along. Certainly Seb Hines hopes so. Simone Jackson, of course, did score against Alajuelense on match day 1 in the group. So did Julie Doyle, who, of course, has already scored tonight. So it's 2-2 for Doyle in the Champions Cup. The other goal was from Carson Pickett, who has also not made the trip to Panama tonight. It's a chance for Doyle, but she's dispossessed. Recycled for Dyke. 2 goals for Orlando came in the opening 6 minutes. Doyle and then Yates, both on the score sheet. And now Jackson in behind here for Orlando. And the cross is met by Chorrillo. Wonderful defending from the captain. Still a set piece to defend. I was able to block the cross just in the nick of time. Luana's delivery is fizzed in there. And on the turn, oh, the volley is sent over the top by Grace Chanda. Well, how about this? A little bit of ingenuity here from Chanda. Tight quarters as the ball ricochets. Lovely first touch. And the second touch on that volley wasn't bad either. Just a little too much on it. Luana winning it back here. It's on a plate, and it's number 3. A brace for Summer Yates. She has 2. Orlando have 3. Oh, quick change of possession here. Orlando win it back quickly. And that's a clinical finish from Summer Yates. Can't give her that much space inside the penalty area. It's such a composed finish, just like her first one. This time she picks out the opposite corner. And Orlando are comfortably 3-0 up. Well, it was such a good spell from Chorrillo at times, particularly when they were able to make some things happen in the final third, get a set piece or 2, but Orlando restoring a bit of order with that 3rd goal. And now a bit of a concern for Chorrillo as Sarah Lozano is holding that right shoulder and may need some assistance here for the hosts. It gives Chorrillo a bit of a chance to regroup here. Chorrillo, of course, do have a backup goalkeeper available. Nadia DeCruz is the keeper available off the bench if Lozano is struggling here. Although I will say that is the only goalkeeper that Chorrillo have. Orlando has brought 2 substitute goalkeepers with them, which is rather normal, particularly on a cup competition night such as this. It appears that Lozano is going to try and continue on here as Chorrillo will get the kickoff after that Summer Yates finish. Foul and a free kick for Chorrillo here after Magallon was pressured and harried by Doyle on multiple occasions. That is shepherded out of play by Salazar, and in the end, the hosts once again will throw the ball back in, but Jackson is there. Well, again, a couple of defensive moments maybe for Orlando to clean up, but other than that, it has gone according to plan for the Pride. mentioned it's the first time that these two teams have met. It's also the first time Chorrillo have ever played against an NWSL side in the club's history, which goes back nearly 10 years. Chanda. Now it's whipped into the middle, but Chorrillo get it clear. Only as far as Villacorta, who picks out Jackson. Was a little too firm with that first touch. Well, Jackson tries to recover it on this near side. And Chorrillo want a foul on the back end there, with Palacio being, in their view, bundled to the ground, but the referee says that it was a fair challenge from Jackson. Now Luana's touch there takes it out of play, and it goes back to the host for a throw. And Camarena continues to try and make something happen in the final third for Chorrillo down that far side. Well, she's been the player that's given Orlando a couple of problems in this first half. Oh, was there a coming together there? Chorrillo are asking the questions about a possible foul. The referee points for a goal kick as Perez is saying she was elbowed on that far side. Referee didn't see it the same way. The ball's played down that far side. I was wondering if the flag was going to go up, and it does. Well, that timed run wasn't timed up well enough from Chilufya, and Orlando give it away a bit cheaply there. Camarena plays a ball through here. It's in the end vacuumed up by that Orlando Pride back line, and Jackson tried to clear it away. Controlled here by Magallon. Toral. More Pride pressure. Toral down this near side. Magallon does well and is fouled by Simone Jackson. Free kick. Jackson's not convinced. The other question is, did this ball roll out before the challenge came in? Looked like it happened simultaneously. And Chorrillo get the decision on this near side. Rivera takes it short. And it could be a chance here for Magallon into the middle. It's volleyed. Oh, on target. But Morche makes a comfortable save. That was Perez once again getting involved. Heck of an attempt to put that on target considering how tight it was traffic-wise inside the area. Luana for Chilufya down this near side. Could not keep it in play. And it's a throw-in going the opposite way. Well, Jackson beaten there by Magallon. Did really well, but then slipped as the cross came in. That's a heck of a volley by Perez. And there's the look. Looks like it just, only just, leaked over the sideline. Chilufya. Luana. Chilufya could not get the return. Camarena. Wonderful ball down this far side. Camarena continue to run here. Oh, and Morche is able to get there. Chorrillo are appealing that Orlando handled the ball as they tried to give Morche a path to get to it. Referee waves that away. And on the back end, there's a player down here for the host. It's Palacio in a bit of discomfort after more promising attacking play. Another look, did this skip up and hit an arm there? No, very much not. Didn't look like it from that angle with Chavoshi. Of course, he's on a yellow as well. Looked like there was no need for the appeals in the end, and the referee gets another one right, of course. Remember, there is no VAR, so what the referees, I should say, what they say goes. There's no reviewing a moment like that, but to be fair, we didn't need to. Oh, nearly a wonderful through ball, trying to find Jackson on this near side. Jackson recovers to try to fend off Magallon on this near side. Torral's touch, oh, it's a dangerous pass. Talufia slides it through. The shot from Bennett is deflected, and Lozano will control it. Now, Orlando's pressure has certainly made Chorrillo work at the back. Of course, it led to the third goal as well. Nearly led to another chance there, after good anticipation was shown there by Chilufia. This is Luana. A bit indecisive with that moment there, and then as she follows up, she commits a foul, and it's a free kick going the other way. Now, Luana was a bit hesitant to decide which way to go and tried to make up for that decision, but to no avail. It is a foul. Well, now Camarena is a bit slow to continue here. Oh, that is not a good sign for Chorrillo. She's been really good in this first half so far. Has been in and amongst all the big chances that the hosts have had. Now 2 goals for Summer Yates, who is on a hat-trick. Julie Doyle, who has scored 2 and 2 in these Concacaf W Champions Cup group games. And Orlando, through that Doyle goal and the Yates brace, are 3-0 up. But Chorrillo have shined in some moments in this first half. There's no questions about that. There's been some positive play on the Panamanian champions here. But certainly concerned with Shayari Camarena being examined at the moment. Would not want to lose her at this particular juncture. Both sets of players come back out onto the field here after that stoppage. Leaves us with about 10 minutes and change plus stoppage time left in the half. I have to be fair, that has seen Orlando match the amount of goals they scored on match day 1 already here in the first half. To their credit. And to Camarena's credit, she's going to try to give this a go. From the Orlando throw. Deflects out of play. Looks like it'll stay with the pry. That was Bennett from Doyle on the near side. Jackson to throw it back in. And Dyke to recycle it back to Chavoshi. Over the top for Chilufya. Holds up the play nicely for Chanda. Villacorta couldn't fit it through. Camarena. More brilliant hold-up play and is able to thread the needle onto this near side. Rivera switches the point of the attack. Sayeli trying to get it away from Chanda, who really did well to recover it there for Orlando. And the Pride get the throw as well. Oh, excellent defensive work there from Grace Chanda. And Orlando are able to put out the fire on that far side. Nice moment there between Lozano and Chilufya. Both just doing their jobs there. Chanda clipping it forward for Chilufya, who stayed on side here. Yates over the top. Chance here for Doyle. Ooh, was she tripped inside the area? Orlando asking the questions of the referee again, who waves away any penalty shouts. And then Chilufya fouls Palacio. Another look. Doyle was clipped. But was it in the area? That's the other question. Oh, looked like it was from that angle. Clearly a foul there on Chilufya. Well, Chorrillo may have gotten away with one there as Yates wins this back. But that's a massive tackle from Madrid as Orlando would have been away. And then it's recovered. Oh, miscommunication between Chavoshi and Chanda. And it ricochets out for a throw-in. Well, not the first time that Orlando back line has been in a little bit of miscommunication tonight. To be fair, Chanda looked to have had that covered, and then Chavoshi and her collide. There's the Luana challenge from earlier in the sequence. One that Chorrillo, I'm sure, would have hoped was called by the referee, but it was not. Madrid cleaned it up after that defensively. And speaking of cleaning it up, it's Chanda hoofing it forward. Pressure from Chilufya. Well, it falls kindly for Doyle, who plays it square for Yates on a hat trick. Tried to return it to Doyle, but the attack fizzles out in the end. That was the right idea between the two goal scorers there. Just didn't quite materialize. Well, the header from Chanda, and then helped forward by Perez. Orlando eventually cleaned it up defensively there. Doyle is swarmed. And eventually the foul goes Chorrillo's way. They played it quickly here in the middle of the park. Still 5 minutes plus stoppage time in this first half. Magallon has also had some good moments. And Orlando push it and force Chorrillo to go all the way back to Lozano. Another good ball played in behind here. And Chorrillo have some numbers in the middle, but the cross into the middle is cleared by Corey Dyke. Chorrillo look to follow up on this far side. Chavoshi is able to shepherd that out for a goal kick after being pressured by Melissa Herrera on the far side. Dyke for Morche. Well, Orlando signed Cosette Morche back on August 6th. See the heavy collision there. Well, Jackson and Magallon, that battle continues. And Seb Hines wanted, I think, a little bit more for what happened here. Magallon gets nothing on the ball there, and Jackson is upended. I think the shake of the head from Seb Hines there as if to say, why wasn't a yellow card handed out? Well, he certainly has a case, Seb Hines. As Luana touches it into the area and then slid in to try to win the ball back off of Madrid, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. Another look. Just to finish the point on Morche, she signed a multi-year contract just over a month ago from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Just north of Florida, of course. Those not familiar with American geography. Oh, lovely turn there, Luana. Ball played in behind by Chalufia, and Lozano dives down to get it with the likes of Bennett awaiting inside the area. Another cushioned header by Chalufia. Should mention as well, this is the first of two tonight in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. Was that handled? As that was pushed forward, the referee says no. Well, and then it might have been handled here on this near side, as Corey Dyke and company were trying to defend that. A couple of odd moments there. Referee did not give the first one. Did that? Oh, it looked like it hit off the head of Dyke first. And then off the hand. Oh, Luana couldn't control that. Pressure here from Salazar. And then that is going to be a foul from behind. And an Orlando free kick. Camarena has to be aggressive there, but is not able to get anywhere near the ball. And ends up clipping via Corta from behind. Luana up ahead. Oh, and this time Salazar is penalized, fouling Yates. Gives Orlando a free kick in a pretty good spot as we enter first half stoppage time, which will be 3 minutes. I was saying earlier that there is one more game after this one tonight. Vancouver Rise FC Academy will be taking on the defending W Champions Cup winners in Gotham FC. So make sure you stick around for that. That was a lovely set-piece move from Orlando there. It's just touched away from Doyle. At the vital moment, Magallon and company just about break that up. Some lovely intricate passing there from Orlando in and around the penalty area. And they will get a corner to work with. From the set piece, it's volleyed out of the 18-yard box, only as far as Dyke, and touched down the line on this far side, but pushed out for another Orlando throw. The throw from Chanda. And Chorrillo handled it well defensively here. Maybe a chance to break up the other end, but it's shoveled forward by Perez. And Orlando with Luana and company recover it for Morshea. There's Doyle. This is clipped over the top, looking for Chalufia. Chalufia does well, but Chorrillo are going to end up clearing it with Toral. And again, there's a little bit of space to work with up ahead, but it's closed down quickly. And then it's just hoofed over the top for Morshea to take her time recovering this. Be moved forward here by Dyke in the half's final seconds. Gets it back from Luana. Doyle for Yates. And that is how the half ends in Panama City. Well, overall, Orlando were as advertised, even with all the changes. They were very, very strong in that first half. 2 goals from Summer Yates after the early opener from Julie Doyle, who has scored 2 Champions Cup goals in as many games for the defending NWSL champions. Some positive attacking play at times for Chorrillo, but just too much Orlando quality in the final third. Still a big 45 minutes to come in the Panamanian capital and in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. At halftime, it is Chorrillo 0, Orlando 3. Welcome back, everybody. Sean St. Jacques here with you at the half between Orlando and Chorrillo. And it didn't take the Pride long to get on the score sheet. Early minutes of the game, Julie Doyle heads home to give Orlando the lead inside of 4 minutes. Lovely work here from Chilufia down that far side. Was able to clip this into the middle. Doyle with the height advantage is able to cushion the header home. And Orlando lead in this one early at that point by a 1-0. 2 goals in 2 W Champions Cup games for Julie Doyle. Then Summer Yates would get on the score sheet. Great take here. Brilliant finish into the bottom right-hand corner. Able to control this after it bounced around in traffic and just slots it into that bottom right-hand corner with ease. That was just a couple of minutes after the Doyle opener to give Orlando a 2-0 lead inside of 6 minutes. But there were opportunities for Chorrillo. Shayari Camarena in behind. Decent attempt. But Cosette Morche ends up making a comfortable save in her first start for the Orlando Pride since making the move from the USL Super League. Then Orlando off the takeaway from Luana. Lovely feed into the area, and then it's on a plate for Summer Yates, her second of the match, Orlando's third. And the Pride, after 22 minutes, were 3-0 up, and that's where we stand after the first 45 minutes. So clinical from the NWSL champions. Then a chance to cross that into the middle from Magallon, and the attempted volley from Perez. Quick thinking just to get the boot wrapped around that, but again, Morche made a rather comfortable save in the end. Then Orlando had another attempt here. It was crossed into the middle by Chilufia, but Sarah Lozano was able to get there. And then this was a brilliant setup from a set piece, but Doyle had it touched away from her before she could capitalize. Orlando overall very strong in those first 45 minutes. Some positives for Chorrillo to take as well, but it's Orlando in control at the half. 3-0 to the visitors here at the Estadio Rommel. Fernández, 3 shots on target, 3 goals for Orlando. Can't get much better than that. But of course, 3 out of those 6 were on target, 6 overall. All Orlando so far. We'll have the second half coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Looks like Orlando is going to make a triple change at the start of the second half here. Luana, Corey Dyke, and Priska Chalufia all making way. Simone Charlie, Oyani, and Ali Limos all coming in for Seb Hines and the Orlando Pride for the second 45 minutes. Orlando are leading by 3-0 over Chorrillo here in Panama City, Panama, at the beautiful Estadio Rommel Fernández. Again, there were some positive signs for the hosts at times in that first half, but just too much quality, precision, and clinical play from Orlando in the final third. Goal from Julie Doyle and 2 goals from Summer Yates have Orlando ahead. And certainly Oyani with 15 league appearances this season, Ali Limos with 20, being brought in by Seb Hines here just to try and maybe just plug a few of those holes up defensively. There was a couple of moments of miscommunication here and there from Orlando in the first half, and I'm sure Seb Hines wants to improve on that in the second 45. Team switch sides at the start of the second half. Chorrillo kick us off. They're going from right to left here in Panama City. 45 minutes to go, and if it holds, Orlando will be at the top of Group A at the end of the night in Concacaf W Champions Cup play. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us this evening. Orlando hoping to finish this off, and then of course it's a quick turnaround for the NWSL champions, who are currently 6th in the league this season. They will host the North Carolina Courage on Friday night in Orlando. So it's been quite the congested week for the Pride, but it's one of the reasons why Seb Hines rotated his squad a bit tonight, to say the least. That's a lovely ball feathered in behind for Jackson, who was offside. Had a bit of a loose touch on it anyway. That was a wonderful ball played in behind, but Jackson could not time her run up, and does look to be about a step or two offside from that angle. That's headed in behind. Chorrillo did well initially through the Magallon challenge, but then it's touched out of play. Will stay with the Pride on the far side. It's going to be a foul and a free kick. Not the first time. The likes of Jackson and others have been a little bit frustrated by some of that battling going on the far side. The referee did not give Orlando the decision there. And Chorrillo have some time and space here. That's threaded through for Camarena. Trying to find space for the shot here. Camarena goes to the byline, keeps it in play. Now is in a little bit of a tight spot here. Now 2 players on Camarena. And she was dispossessed, but a foul is going to be called. Again, Jackson commits the foul, and it's a free kick. Chavoshi, I think, was expecting Orlando to get a goal kick out of that, but Camarena was fouled. Another look. Ooh, Jackson actually puts a stud onto Camarena before the ball went out of play, and then she did get the ball the second time, but that first swipe was not a kind one, and that is why the referee gave the free kick. Well, maybe some frustration there from Simone Jackson. Didn't need to do that at all. Well, Chorrillo essentially have a short corner to float in. It's headed to the outskirts of the area. Magallon follows up. Jackson's header on the turn. It was Toral. Edge of the area, pushed forward by Herrera, but there's nobody there, and it's a goal kick. There's another example, though, of Chorrillo making life a little bit difficult on Orlando's back line there. Just cannot fully capitalize in the end. Lovely switch of play for Bennett on this near side. Chance for Ayani to go to the byline. That deflects out for an Orlando Pride corner. Well, again, in transition tonight, Orlando have looked lethal. Jackson will trot over to take the corner. Jackson fizzes one in there, and it is headed out for another corner, and Rivera may have got the worst of that. Referee may have to stop this for a possible head injury. Well, Jackson took the low road here, and Rivera heads it out of play. There was a lot of pace on Jackson's ball in behind. And as we had anticipated, the referee is going to stop this for a possible head injury. And Rivera is going to be looked after, rightly so. Chorrillo did not make any substitutions at halftime, so they still have their full complement of alterations if they choose to make a change here. One thing I will say about that, though, is that Chorrillo don't have a ton of strikers or midfielders available on their bench. It's mostly made up of defenders as far as their subs are concerned. Yates was going for the hat trick, but Lozano is able to field it off the bounce. That's poked down the line, and it was last off of Orlando, out for a throw-in on the near side. Tried to, again, just send the Pride on their way down this near sideline. Herrera's throw. Bennett's challenge. And eventually the referee gives a free kick. Had a little bit of a thought over that. A bit of a hip check from Bennett there. Maybe a little bit hard done by there, at least Bennett. The referee had a thought over it, gives it, and then, well, in the end, the attack fizzles out. And it's a goal kick. It's a big end of the month for Orlando coming up in NWSL play as they stride forward again. We'll get back to that in a moment as that cross comes in for Lozano, who picks it up. They have the Courage on Friday, then the following Friday, they go to San Diego. Out west at Snapdragon Stadium in California. That's another big game for Orlando's playoff hopes in the league before going to Houston and then returning home on October 10th to play the Portland Thorns. And meanwhile, at the end of that sequence, it's going to be a yellow card handed out. That's for Rivera, where, well, quite a hold. Holding back Summer Yates. That's the first yellow card of the night for the hosts as Salazar is down and in some discomfort here. Hopefully Salazar is okay. Couple of players for Chorrillo have had some bumps and bruises in this first half, but no one's had to come off yet, thankfully. Salazar, Camarena. So many of these players have put in a heck of a shift. It was played short for Chavoshi. Threaded down the line, and the cross into the middle is cleared out for another corner. Oyani just trying to feather it across and pick out a teammate. Orlando will get an opportunity from this near side corner. Again, the service to come in from Jackson. Puts more air underneath it. And it's going to be a penalty for the holding back of a player on the edge of the 6. Now, Zara Chavoshi was trying to go up for the header. She was held onto the ground, and the referee has no choice but to point for an Orlando penalty. Well, some referees allow some of that jousting in the area, but Melissa Herrera made it so obvious that the referee had no choice. Held on a bit too long. And Orlando will get a chance to add on from the penalty spot here. A chance for Orlando to put in number 4 here. They do. The penalty is converted by Summer Yates, who completes her Champions Cup hat trick. And Orlando lead by 4. Now she just about nestled that into the bottom left-hand corner. Another look at the foul itself. Herrera holding back Chavoshi. And Summer Yates, easy breezy just about from the penalty spot. How about a W Champions Cup hat trick for Yates? And Orlando are cruising now 4-0 up and well on their way to 3 more Concacaf W Champions Cup points that would take them to the top of the group. Another ball threaded through and behind by Jackson. And Lozano is able to get there first. And that was intended for Simone Charlie in behind. Chorrillo win the ball back again here. Camarena out wide. Lovely give and go. Camarena with the shot from a tough angle. And she does sky it in the end, out for a goal kick. After another promising move all of a sudden from the hosts here. We talked about the upcoming schedule for Orlando. It's actually very tight at the moment in the NWSL table, at least after Kansas City Current at the top. Only 1 point separates 3rd and 6th place in the NWSL standings at the moment. So there are big, big games coming up for Orlando. We highlighted some of them earlier. Again, not just in the league, but of course here in Concacaf W Champions Cup as well on the match days ahead. Limos. Oh, nearly threaded through a beauty for Doyle. And then Doyle clatters into Lozano. Gets baited into the challenge, and Julie Doyle is going to see yellow for clattering into Sarah Lozano. Now Lozano again just kind of baited her, trying to come after the ball. And Doyle kind of, well, could have pulled out, let's say that, and bundles into her. Bit of a clumsy challenge, really, from Doyle. And a needless yellow card, frankly. Chorrillo only have 1 game left in the group stage after this. It's a month from now, just about. October 14th, they'll go to Alajuelense. And we kind of hinted at it earlier, but Chorrillo here at the moment on the verge of being eliminated from the group stage with what would be their 3rd consecutive loss, but takes nothing away from the effort and the performance they've put in against one of the best sides in the region, if not all of world football in this game tonight. After tonight, Orlando, September 30th in the W Champions Cup. They go to Club America in Mexico City before hosting Pachuca. Finish out the group stage play in Orlando on October 15th. So the next 2 months will go a long way to defining Orlando's season, both domestically and abroad. That's going to fall kindly for Simone Charlie. Charlie trying to cut in field, dispossessed, but then recovers it for the Pride. Does look like Chorrillo are getting a change ready. Gloria Sainz is getting readied up here on the near side. This is Grace Chanda. Couldn't quite maneuver through multiple defenders there. Rivera holds up the play. Toral out wide, and it just goes over the line before it can be played down the line. It's an Orlando throw, and here comes the first Chorrillo change of the night. The aforementioned Kyra Perez tried to give it a go, but he's going to be withdrawn. Gloria Sainz is in and has about 27 minutes or so to make an impact. Now, this season for Orlando, you look at some of their numbers, they're one of the best defenses, at least statistically, in NWSL play. They're the 3rd fewest goals against in league play with just 21. So it was always going to be tough for Chorrillo tonight, even with such a changed side for Orlando. That should be mentioned as well, as Lozano eventually is going to corral this. But on top of that, Seb Hines has plenty of depth, a lot of quality. And he's been led by Summer Yates, who has shined very brightly tonight with her hat trick after the opener from Julie Doyle inside of 4. First half minutes, that's where we stand at the 4-0 scoreline. Good pressure there from Chorrillo, and Morche sends it out for a throw on the far side. That's looped over the top, but nobody there to get on the end of it, and it'll be a goal kick. We talked a little bit about Chorrillo earlier. They were founded 10 years ago, 2015, but didn't become a founding member until the Liga de Fútbol Femenino in Panama until 2 years later, 2017. Of course, we had Santa Fe last year, also a Panamanian side, so Chorrillo are the second team from Panama to compete in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. And of course, they have championship pedigree. We talked about that earlier. And they've shown it at times tonight. They really have. Been some very strong moments, despite being on the wrong end of the scoreline. There's the brief score summary. Yates hat-trick, Doyle's early opener. 4-0 Orlando is where we stand. Camarena tried to thread the needle down that far side. It's cut out. That ball is played in behind, looking for the likes of Elise Bennett. And he's going to run out of play. I'm sure Raiza Gutierrez has to be frustrated with the scoreline, but has to be encouraged, surely, by some of the positive play. There's been some good glimpses from Chorrillo in this game. They've given so much from an effort and a physicality standpoint tonight. They have not been afraid of Orlando, and I think that's a big, big thing to say. It's just been the quality from Orlando's finishing that has led to this healthy lead. That's been the difference. That's popped high into the air. Simone Charlie fighting her way through and committed a foul. Advantage is played here. Rivera or Sayeli, who could not return the favor. And then it's going to be a foul and a free kick going the other way. Signs with the challenge. And it's an Orlando free kick. Well, that was Bennett trying to recover. Ooh, and did get stepped on in the process. Certainly unintentional, but it certainly was a foul. Good defensive step on that far side. Magallon, who's also been excellent tonight, ends up winning a throw. Well, that's one back by Chanda. Still Grace Chanda stood up initially here. Near side Bennett. Now the layoff for Oyani, and then a long distance strike. A save by Lozano. That was hit rather sweetly from quite a range out, but right at Lozano from Ali Limos. And I think it's Salazar who is down again. Or Chorrillo, she's really tried to battle through. As you look at the Limos effort, that was certainly traveling, but it was right down the heart of the goal. Well, unfortunately, the stretcher is now out. Desire Salazar, who's also had a really strong game to this point. You see Seb Hines there, just having a brief moment with his team as they close in on the final 20 minutes here. Of course, Seb Hines was a good player in his day, formerly of Middlesbrough, across the pond in England, as Salazar, unfortunately, is going to be helped off here. Poor Chorrillo gets a wonderful round of applause from the fans here in Panama City, and rightly so. And Raiza Gutierrez may have her hand forced here as far as making another substitution. And right on cue, Easy Fuentes has been summoned. Chorrillo's number 9 is getting set to check in. Just the second change Chorrillo have made tonight, and the 4th official will confirm, and it will be Fuentes on and Salazar off. With about 20 minutes and stoppages to go. Seb Hines was actually mentioned it. Oh, Lozano there nearly dribbled that out of her own area. Was eventually able to get back onto that. Just saying that Seb Hines was actually at Middlesbrough for about a decade, 2005 to 2015. Although he did have loan stops at 4 different clubs while he was at Borough. Likes of Derby County, Oldham Athletic, Coventry City, and Orlando City, where he eventually made a permanent move. Played 3 seasons there. And then was briefly on loan with Orlando City B, who are now an MLS Next Pro, but at the time were playing in USL League One, which is the 3rd tier of American soccer these days on the men's side. Already been booked. Magallon on the end of that one. Well, the referee in the end is just going to have a drop ball for Morshea. Seb Hines also, by the way, was a England youth international. The under 16, under 17, and under 19 levels as well. Not too shabby. Lovely push and a chase to the byline here. It comes out for a chance. First shot was blocked. Yates followed up, and it was cleared away. Summer Yates on the search for a 4th. Not quite able to get it. Sayeli looks to lead Chorrillo up the other end and is fouled on the near side by Bennett. Orlando don't like the call, as they felt that Sayeli overran the ball here. Although Bennett does kind of guide her to the ground there, and I think that's what the referee saw from her angle. Little ball roll there. Signs. Oh, tried to thread the needle for Fuentes. Right idea again. But it is touched out for a throw. Well, a juggling act towards the edge of the area, but not enough room, and Orlando looked to send this up ahead for Charlie to chase here. Madrid looks to recover it, but does give up the throw on the back end. A beautiful switch of play onto this near side. Oyani. Outside of the boot feed, but it comes up short. Oyani gets it back. Chops it towards the edge of the area. Oyani to the byline, again is blocked. And it's a goal kick. Orlando thought that was last off Herrera, who has stayed down here. But it's gonna be a goal kick with 15 minutes of normal time left. We get the view on it here. Oh, tough to tell. Ooh, that last came off from that angle. Another look at it here. Even tougher to tell. See, there was even hesitation from the assistant referee who didn't have the best view of it, even being so close on that near side. Morshey. Or Chivoshi. Well, again, Chorrillo plugged the gaps there defensively. Oyani clipping it over the top. Ooh, it was handled in the end by Charlie, who was nearly away and did appreciate the thoughts on the service here. Comes off her knee and then did come off her arm, although very tight as far as the shirt line, the sleeve line is concerned there, but referee, of course, did give it in the end. Good defensive work again from Orlando on this near side. These are certainly moments that Chorrillo can take back to their domestic league season. And are good experiences certainly to learn from moving forward in general, as Lozano sweeps that out of play with Charlie in pursuit. I also wonder if any player impressed Seb Hines enough to maybe try to crack into that starting 11 a bit more in NWSL play. Of course, some of the regulars did feature and have featured off the bench. But others, who maybe just played a handful of league games so far this season, will hope that their performance tonight could help them maybe get some more minutes in the stretch run towards what Orlando hopes is another postseason appearance as the defending NWSL champions. As Summer Yates was brought down. Clipped in by Jackson. Oh, and it was headed forward by Bennett, out of the reach of Doyle. Well, Bennett tried to flick it towards Doyle. It was just a little too firm. Bennett's actually a bit unlucky here. It's a smart move to try to just cushion it into Doyle's path, who would have been in on goal. Just didn't quite come off. Oh, that's miscued. Jackson did not handle that well. But in the end, Orlando recover it. It's kind of been the story of the game at times, where Orlando had a couple of moments defensively. We've highlighted that, where it's been a little bit sloppy. Well, right on cue. Oyani not able to control that. It's been a little bit maybe lax at times from the Pride defensively tonight, but anytime they've made a big mistake, they've been able to make up for it before it turns into a big chance, and that's really been a key to keeping the clean sheet so far, with still 10 minutes and stoppage time left. That ball pinballed around, looked like it was a handball call here. And a free kick for Chorrillo. Ooh, or was it? Or was it? The replay didn't show a handball against Orlando there. Maybe the referee just put a hand up for a different reason then. Meanwhile, Grace Guerra is getting set to come on here, and that is going to be it for Palacio. He's going to exit here in the 81st minute. Third change for Chorrillo. They have 2 left as Guerra comes on for the final moments here. Morena played that short. Long distance shot from Rivera. He's held on to by Morche. That was probably one of her tougher tests of the night. The 6'2" goalkeeper makes the catch. Ooh, a slip there. Oyani wins it back for Orlando. Limos plays it square. Beautiful ball played in behind for Doyle. Doyle has plenty of time and space. Cutting in field, whipping in the cross. And it's Madrid who ends up clearing it away. Again, Simone Charlie was the target in behind, but it is dealt with. Oh, another miscue here. Camarena trying to link up with Rivera, but kind of like we just highlighted, Orlando quickly sweep it up. Doyle. Well, there's the hat-trick hero, Summer Yates, who has certainly starred for Orlando tonight. Has been so lethal in the final third. Charlie did well to play that defeat for Doyle. Oyani down the line for Bennett. Well, now Orlando really starting to knock it around here as we get closer to the final few minutes. Jackson skips past one, skips past, ooh, nearly another, and will settle for a corner for Orlando on the far side. Again, just a reminder, the Vancouver Rise FC Academy are going to play next against the defending champions of Concacaf W Champions Cup in Gotham FC, also from NWSL, so stay tuned for that. The corner from Jackson. It's bundled to the edge of the area. Lemos lifts it and scores it. Ali Lemos with a majestic finish. It rainbowed over the top and in. And Orlando have a fifth. Remember, Lemos struck a ball earlier that was so sweet from the edge of the area. She just clips this over the top. She was trying to find the back of the net, and she is successful. Orlando's third different goal scorer, and the Pride are 5-0 up. From the restart, Charlie holding up the play is fouled, and it's another Orlando free kick. Again, certainly when you look at the table, not only will the 3 points help to put Orlando clear at the top, but they will improve their goal differential quite a bit, which of course will matter, with only 2 teams out of 5 making it on to the knockout rounds. Another free kick, that one bounces in, and Lozano watches it flash wide with 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go here in Panama City. Bennett won the initial header, and that ball looped over the top is going to bounce away from Sayeli and go out for a throw. Ooh, that's a giveaway. Allows Chorrillo to move it down this far side. And then it's a push and a chase. Ooh, to the byline here where it's kept in play, and Morche makes the stop. That's one of the few times where an Orlando miscue did lead to a chance at the other end. But Cosette Morche makes the stop with the angle in her favor. Now Charlie just about keeps it in play. Time and space for Lemos to switch it over to the far side. Jackson. Oyani. Ooh, Oyani couldn't get the return. Lemos does. Charlie in behind. Big chance here for Grace Chanda, who's going to be run down by Lozano. Oh, that nearly fell really kindly for Chanda. But in the end, Lozano gets there first and is able to clear it away. Doyle recovers. And again, Orlando look to switch this over the top. It's a chance here for Elise Bennett, who tried to feed it in behind for Charlie. Chorrillo again are able to handle things defensively, and they will send this upfield. Only for Chavoshi to recover it. Oh, lovely touch there. But in the end, Magallon could not follow up. And that's a miscued clearance. Simone Charlie tries to get on the end of it, but Madrid mops up at the expense of a throw into Orlando. And another player is down here for the host. That's Magallon, who needed a moment. Has really had a strong showing tonight. one of many. And that brief stoppage is going to take us into the 90th minute. Doyle's throw. Charlie tried to turn into space, lost out. Another chance for Chorrillo to try to push up the other end. That's a poor challenge from behind. And the referee very swiftly pulls out the yellow card for Ali Lemos. Again, didn't really need to make the challenge, frankly. Now confirmation that the goal scorer has a yellow card. And we are into 4 added minutes of stoppage time at the end of this Group A encounter. Herrera couldn't control it. Right now, the only other team in the group that has a superior goal differential to Orlando would be Club America on +9. Neither side have conceded a goal yet in this group stage, although Camarena is trying to change that here for Chorrillo. Holds up the play nicely. Magallon just trying to find space here. And then Camarena on the turn, couldn't keep it. Guerra wins a throw, or is the referee going to give the free kick? We will see. Referee is on the scene here where Camarena went down. I think she is going to give the free kick. Oh, Shayari Camarena has just been fantastic. And it is a free kick for Chorrillo here. Still haven't scored a goal yet in this group stage. Sayeli is going to take it. Certainly has an angle to go for goal here. Oh, and she does! But Cosette Morchet pushes it over the top and out for a corner. That was some strike from Carla Sayeli here. This was right on target. And Morchet using her height to make sure that that did not go in. Well, that is officially Chorrillo's best chance of the night. Science will take the corner. Another ball is whipped in. Oh, it bounced around. Edge of the area, Camarena with the volley. The flicked on header by Madrid. Bounces wide, and it's a goal kick. Well, more encouraging signs in the attack from the Panamanian club. And as soon as I say that, they win it back again here. They have some numbers. Chance for the shot from Fuentes, it's blocked. On the volley, it's skied over the top by Sayeli. And it is out for a goal kick. Oh my, they are trying to get that goal. Just not quite able to do so with Morchet between the sticks. And it's going to be a throw-in to Orlando as we get into the final seconds here. And the scoreline doesn't tell the full story. Yes, Orlando were dominant, yes. With all those changes that they made, they were still much the better side. But Chorrillo have certainly played their part in this game tonight. And they could certainly leave with their heads held high, despite going out of this competition officially. Not too much Orlando quality is the difference. And the Orlando Pride win the game by 5-0 here in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. It is a successful first ever voyage outside of the United States for the defending NWSL champions. They win it by 5-0, and they are now comfortably, at least for now, at the top of Group A in the Concacaf W Champions Cup. Summer Yates leads the way with a hat trick. Julie Doyle and Ali Lemos bookend the hat trick with goals in each half. And Orlando comfortably take home all 3 points with a 5-0 win. We'll hear from both teams in just a moment. Highlights and stats to follow afterwards, as it is full time in Panama City. It is Chorrillo 0, Orlando Pride 5.
Bien, Carla.
Summer Yates from Orlando Pride, you have been selected player of the match. Your thoughts regarding this win for today?
Yeah, I think it was a good win for this team, and just to get momentum in not only this tournament but in our league play. So it was a good win, and we all played together, so it was an exciting game.
How important this win is for you guys heading into what's next for your tournament, your league, the cup, looking forward?
Yeah, just scoring goals is also going to bring us momentum into league and also this tournament. So as long as we get on the score sheet and keep playing for each other, then yeah, I think we have a good chance of going far in our league and also in this tournament.
A hat trick in Panama. Who would you like to dedicate this goals?
Probably just my family. You know, they're always the ones helping me out, and then also my coaches just for believing in me when I get the shot. So yeah.
Congratulations, Summer. Oh, Melissa. Estamos con Melissa Herrera del Chorrillo FC. Melissa, tu opinión, partido bastante batallado, el segundo partido de este torneo internacional. ¿Qué sacan de este partido?
Bueno, yo creo que resaltar la unión de grupo. Venimos de menos a más, tomándonos confianza. Obviamente es evidente que son superiores a nosotras. Como potencia, Estados Unidos siempre marca diferencia y bueno, nosotras estamos trabajando, vamos en un proceso. Creo que es importante que se le dé apoyo, que se le dé seguimiento, que haya una estructura, que hayan unas bases para poder enfrentar este tipo de torneos que son muy importantes para nosotras, donde nos llenamos de mucho aprendizaje. Y nada, yo creo que felicitar a todas las compañeras porque hoy de alguna forma se sintió dentro del campo que es un equipo grande, que es un equipo unido y bueno, a eso le apostamos.
Melissa, como una de las extranjeras de este equipo, un plantel muy joven, ¿qué le dices a las compañeras y viendo con lo que fue América, que háblame de la mejora que han conseguido en este partido?
Bueno, después de Pachuca, de América, donde son golpes fuertes, porque estos torneos son de alto nivel, son de alto rendimiento y bueno, uno espera salir y hacer las cosas de la mejor forma y hacer el mejor trabajo, pero yo creo que estas niñas como Yacelis Magallón, Chaimou, Carla, Ovalle, son niñas que son sub-17 y que aportan demasiado, entonces va un proceso formativo muy bueno, resaltando mucho también el trabajo de la profesora Raiza, que creo que lo hace muy bien y bueno, de a poco vamos consolidándonos como equipo.
Muchas gracias, Melissa.
A ustedes.
Like
Chelsea. Captain Lemos.
Jacques back here with you one more time for full-time highlights between Chorrillo and Orlando in the Concacaf W Champions Cup tonight. Didn't take the NWSL champions long to score. 4th minute, Julie Doyle gets her head onto it. 2-2 in the W Champions Cup for her. That gave Orlando a 1-0 lead in double quick time. Then just 2 minutes later in the 6th minute, the first of 3 from Summer Yates, who slots it in. And it was 2-0 Orlando in the blink of an eye. All kind of bundled around. Chorrillo didn't clear it in time. And Summer Yates, in tight quarters, I might add, was able to fit that through and make it 2-0. Shayari Camarena, she had the best chances, among the best chances tonight for Chorrillo. That was one of them on the break. And was able to force a save out of Cosette Morchet. Then, Summer Yates again on a plate. Brilliant feed in behind, 22nd minute, easy as you like. 3-0 Orlando. And that would be the halftime scoreline. Magayon, also a star player for Chorrillo tonight. Ball in behind, looking for Perez, who volleyed it over the top. Then another chance for Yates, who at that point was searching for her hat trick. Not able to do it on that occasion, but she would from the penalty spot. Converting after Chavoshi won the penalty off the corner. Yates hat trick in the W Champions Cup. You just heard her. She dedicated it to her family and to her coaching staff as well. Of course, her teammates certainly helped along the way as well. And then Ashley Lemos had a couple of chances. That one was saved comfortably, but we'll get back to Ali Lemos in a moment. This was clipped in behind the header between Bennett and Doyle, just didn't quite come off. Then a long distance shot here from Rivera. Cosette Morchet makes the stop, and then more Orlando pressure from the corner here. Ali Lemos rainbowing it over the top and in for Orlando's 5th. Ali Lemos, the most league-capped player in this Orlando squad tonight, gets her first goal in the W Champions Cup, and that put a bow on proceedings. Lozano not able to get there. Then that wonderful free kick, Sayeli saved by Morchet, and that is how it finished. 5-0 to Orlando. They're at the top of Group A, and they look to take that momentum back into NWSL play in their pursuit for a playoff spot. Five-star performance overall for Orlando, particularly in the attack. 5 goals out of their 7 shots on target. But Chorrillo, give them credit as well. They certainly played their part despite losing and now going out of the tournament tonight. Orlando wins it, and they top Group A at the end of tonight's proceedings.